Today is the 28th of May, 2015, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning. Thank you for being with us.
And I hope you're doing well today. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Hope you are.
Outstanding, yes. Feeling
Happy Thursday.
great. Happy Thursday. Happy New Day, everybody.
That's
there.
right.
You know, we're closely,
The end of May.
quickly working our way down to the last day of the month of May.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Oh, on a happy note, hurricane season starts on the 1st of June. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, thank you so much for reminding us.
Well, I just happened to remember the 1st of June.
That's right.
And that's my late dad's birthday. He was born June 1st, 1917. He was.
Well, sir.
There you go. So that's how I guess that's how
you
I remember.
that?
Yes,
Yeah.
the first day of hurricane season.
Yep.
We've already had a storm though. You know, we had that Anna.
We did. We did.
Yeah. Anna.
Well, and speaking of the end of the month, tonight, today's what, the 28th?
28.
Today's 28th. Tonight is Center Street Jam. Join
boy.
us. That's right, from 6 until 9. I believe it is Jim Quick and the Coastline Band.
Ooh, yeah.
Come on out from 6 until 9. It's free to the public. It's a part of our summer concert series. Bring your lawn chair. Come listen to some good old music.
That's right. You don't have to bring a lawn chair, but you know,
If you like to sit.
If you like to sit, and a lot of people do.
Most
They
people,
come and they just sit, and it's like a little audience out there, a little amphitheater, if you will.
That's right. There's
But,
some of both going on.
Yeah, isn't the walk and roll tonight as well?
Yes, it is. They're meeting at 6 o'clock on the steps of the courthouse.
Courthouse
And that's
steps.
with Go Wayne Go.
All right. Go Wayne Go.
Anybody that wants to walk, put on your tennis shoes, some little bug repellent maybe, bring some water, meet them on the steps.
That's right. All right. Well, we have spring art classes for kids.
They always have very unusual spring art classes.
Yeah, and they've got one
Very
coming up
interesting.
the second day of June, June 2nd, 9th, and 16th, beginning at 5:30 in the evening.
Okay.
Students will come out of their shells, so to speak, and create a beautiful pottery turtle using different hand-building techniques. The class is for ages 6 to 12 years of age. Cost is $45, and all supplies, that will include all supplies, supplies will be included in that, $45. And you can call the Arts Council telephone number at 919-736-3300 to get more information about that. It is the clay turtle sculpture, June 2nd, 9th, and 16th at the Arts Council on John Street, Goldsboro.
Well, the 30th is right around the corner, and Goldsboro Parks and Recreation is putting on their annual Cruise the Noose. You know, each year they cruise a different portion of the Noose River.
Yeah.
And this is a canoe kayak trip of the Noose River. It's $15. That includes a t-shirt, the boating trip, and lunch. And this year they are all talking about meeting at Herman Park Center. There's more details on their website, goldsboroparksandrec.com, to find out more details. If you want to be a part of that, give them a call ASAP, because it's the 30th of the month. It's right around the corner.
If you mixed a canoe and a kayak, you'd either have a Caillou or
Kaiku? Anyway, if you want to be a part of Cruise the Noose, this year's a little different. The part of the Noose River that they will be touring will actually be, you'll actually go by part of the runway for Seymour Johnson.
Oh,
yeah.
I know where that is. Yeah.
Give them a call if you want to be a part of it. It's
That's
mighty
right.
special.
Which means you'll be going under Arrington Bridge Road.
That's right.
All right, there you go. Coming up in July, thinking ahead now.
Yes.
Coming up July 20th through the 23rd, Adventures in Impressionism. The instructor will be Courtney Gorman. At the Arts Council, you can learn about the famous Impressionist artists, including Monet, Van Gogh, and Seurat, as they create a series of paintings using watercolors, crayon, Q-tips.
Wow.
Q-tips. And even shaving cream. That's weird. Okay, it's called Adventures in Impressionism. Courtney Gorman, the instructor, and it's $85 per child. And that sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm sure it is.
Especially when you throw in the Q-tips and the shaving cream.
I'm sure it is.
All right, and then there's one more that same week. The instructor will be Timothy Kavanaugh, and it's called Art in Motion. Students will put a modern spin on the work of North Carolina artists when they create an awesome whirligig style sculpture. Now that's
Oh, wow,
gonna be
like
fun.
we have out here
Yeah,
beside the
yeah.
Arts Council.
All right,
There you go. All right, I believe it's time to go to our interviews, Wayne.
let's do it. Our guest in the studio, we want to welcome Scott Dorney, who is with the NCMBC.
North Carolina Military Business Center. It's easier to say than it is to spell.
I know.
Good to see you, Wayne.
Who would have thought? I didn't do so well in spelling anyway. Scott, it's good to see you, and I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
The first question, obviously, is what is the NCMBC?
The NCMBC is a statewide business development component of the community college system. So we're part of the system office. Our headquarters is in Fayetteville, but we have 15 offices across the state, from Franklin in the west all the way to Jacksonville and Elizabeth City in the east, and including Wayne Community College.
That covers just about everything in the state.
It does, yeah. We cover all the major metro areas, but also all of the base communities. So Goldsboro is very important to us, and Wayne County is because of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
Now, exactly what does it mean, Military Business Center? What do you do?
Well, we are strictly a business development organization, so we're part of the business and industry side of the community college system. So we focus on helping the businesses in the state of North Carolina, including here in Wayne County, to connect with federal contract opportunities, to bid successfully for those, and to execute federal contracts, which in the end will grow jobs in Wayne County and across our state, expand our tax base, which our folks are in the General Assembly certainly appreciate, grow our economy, and really at the end of the day what you're doing is improving quality of life for everybody, whether it's in Wayne County or Buncombe County.
So we're looking at civilian organizations and military organizations, anybody that has a business and a service that they
Absolutely,
can offer.
absolutely. You would be surprised. You know, we say the Military Business Center and connecting them with defense contracts, and by the way, other federal agencies. We work with folks to win VA contracts, Forest Service, Department of Agriculture, of course, Coast Guard's part of Homeland Security. So we help businesses, large and small, win contracts. But when you say defense contracts, people think planes and tanks and submarines, but that's not it. You know, our bases use construction services, other services, products that our businesses right here in North Carolina sell and do very successfully.
We recently had our air show here at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and I heard someone comment, someone who had never been on base before, they said, you know, this is an entire city within itself.
It is.
So when you look at it that way, they have to have a few gas stations, they have to have groceries available to their folks there. They have to have construction, as you say.
Yeah, absolutely. Our bases are cities, and I happen to be retired Army and was the deputy garrison commander at Fort Bragg, so I know about running Fort Bragg, the city, and Seymour Johnson certainly is a city as well. You've got all the normal public services. You have the recreation, you have construction, you have services that you provide, everything from locksmith services and landscaping services to IT services and training services. So it runs the whole gamut. And you're right, our bases are small cities, or actually large cities in a lot of cases, who buy all the things that any other place would, plus tanks, planes, and submarines.
Including.
Right.
So Scott, how does a company who has something or a service to offer, do they have to be a large organization? Do they have to have a certain amount of money? They have to have a certain number of employees?
Well, that's a great question. The short answer is no, but of course I won't give you the short answer. We do $2.5 billion in defense contracts alone in North Carolina every year. Now that's just prime contracts. So if you think of all the people out there who are providing parts and assemblies for aircraft and things, our total defense contracting in the state's much larger than that, but $2.5 billion. We have prime contractors. Those are people who actually get a check from the government. Prime contractors in 79 out of 100 counties. Wow. So, and that's pretty consistent. We've been actually over 80. Now, if you look at all federal agencies, it's about $5 billion in prime contracts. So this is big business. The military is the second largest sector of our state's economy. And the good news, to actually answer your question, is that the federal government has small business programs and actually mandates, sets as goals, but they're pretty much mandates, that all federal agencies do about 23% of their contracting with small businesses. So there are great incentive programs for the contracting offices on the base to use small businesses, all types of small businesses, regular small businesses, service-disabled veteran small businesses, hub zone businesses, women-owned businesses. So there are great opportunities that are actually set aside for small businesses. Plus, our small businesses have great opportunity to team with those larger contracts on the large contracts.
Now that's all well and good, and I'm sure that the people on the bases around the state realize and understand that they need to be doing the business with the
Right.
smaller. But what's in it for the small business, local, the guy that offers widgets for sale?
Right. Well, I'm sure that he probably doesn't care much, but the federal government is the largest customer in the world,
Yes.
and DOD is the largest customer within the federal government. So it's a customer you don't want to ignore. So it's really for any type of business. I stopped telling businesses it's not for them when I think it was an insurance company asked me if they should participate, and I said, well, the government's pretty much self-insured. But he called me back in about 2 weeks later and said, well, the Department of Agriculture needed insurance to go to Canada, and they couldn't self-insure.
Wow.
So
Okay.
whether you're doing that, and I used to say nail salons and things, but now there are spa opportunities on base, so we can't even say that anymore. So it runs the whole gamut of opportunity. The idea, though, it's a system like anywhere else, and the businesses need to understand that system, and that's where the Military Business Center comes in.
Scott, if I have a business and I want to do business with the base or with the federal government, what do I have to do to get started?
Well, the good news is we have a checklist for you. Of course,
Okay.
being military, we have to have a checklist
gotta
for
have a
most
checklist,
things. So
yeah.
if you go to our website, which is hard to say, it's NCMBC, just like North Carolina
In
Military
fact,
Business
You'll
Center.
know you're there when you see this right here behind us.
That's
We've got
part of
that-
our website.
We've got it right on our
Absolutely.
website. That's the website.
There is a checklist under Getting Started, and there's a process to go through. Now, the good news is it's free.
Oh, that is
nothing
good
on
news.
there should cost you any money to register as a federal contractor. Once you start the process, there'll be a lot of folks who will contact you and offer you assistance for a certain amount of money, but all of those processes are really free.
Okay.
And the good news is the state of North Carolina, and I have to put this plug in for our state, has built the best infrastructure to help small businesses.
Yes.
Whether it's our small business centers at the community college, our small business technology development center within our universities, the military business center, part of the community colleges, to walk you through that process. And so I would encourage any business watching this that's interested to contact the Military Business Center office at Wayne Community College. Boyce Haywood there will walk them through this process and help them get registered, get certified in any of those small business programs that they might qualify for, which is going to increase their chance of winning those contracts.
That's at Wayne Community College, and that number 919-735-5151, and ask for Boyce Haywood.
That's
He's
correct.
a nice guy.
Boyce is great.
Yeah.
He is a terrific asset,
Yes.
both for the college and for this community. He's got great experience in the Air Force as a contracting official, worked for the state as a contracting official. Businesses are well served in this community.
Yes, indeed. I do want to caution, what you said a moment ago was interesting in that once someone becomes registered and ready to do business, that they will receive calls and be contacted by people who want to charge them.
That's
for this.
absolutely right.
Don't
That's absolutely
fall
right.
for that.
Don't fall for that, because our state has really, again, provided those resources to folks. And certainly there's good businesses out there that provide a good service. And if there's a service that a business needs that exceeds our capability to perform it, we're happy to refer them to sources that they may need. But most of the services a business needs to find the opportunities, to understand the opportunity, and to put in a winning bid, we can help them do that.
All right, man, this is great information, and I wonder how many people are just not aware that you're even out there.
Well, we are the only statewide military business center in the country. Now, I've had Georgia at my door 3 times. I've had other states calling. They want to do similar things. But like in a lot of cases, North Carolina is really out front in providing those services to our businesses and people across the state.
Outstanding. From Franklin to Jacksonville, and especially right here in Wayne County. At Wayne Community College, contact Boyce Haywood, 919-735-5151. Our guest has been Mr. Scott Dorney.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Scott.
No problem.
Scott Dorney, thank you so much.
Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it very much.
All right. Today we welcome to the studio Mr. Charles Ivy and Mr. Thomas Nivens from Partnership for Children. Gentlemen,
Morning, Wayne.
thank you for being with us. How you doing?
Just fine.
All right, a couple of things we want to touch on. We want to talk about born learning today, right?
Right.
But I wanted to ask you first of all about the shrimp and lobster sale that you had here a while back. How did that go?
We had a tremendous successful lobster and shrimp fest. We earned almost $10,000 for
Wow.
our programs here at the partnership.
Wonderful.
Of course, those programs serve the youngest citizens of Wayne County from birth to 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But we sold over 300 cooked and live lobsters and over 300 orders of shrimp. So
Wow.
Very,
That's
very, very
that's amazing.
thankful for the community support.
Well, now you see, Charles, the community understands, or most of the community understands what you do, and they understand the importance of what you do. So I can't help but feel that they understand that they need to support this.
It is affirming.
Yes.
I think people are beginning to realize more and more that a kid's education begins at birth.
Yeah.
And
Boy,
that
I hope so.
we have to do everything that we can do to help support that.
Yeah.
And that leads us right into our big festival coming up in June.
Okay.
June 6th is our Born Learning Festival. Thomas here has coordinated the festival, and he'll give you some of the details.
Thomas, Born Learning. What is Born Learning? What does that mean? And what do we have coming up here soon?
We have
Tell me
our
about
10th annual Born Learning Festival.
Okay.
And it's a community event to celebrate the first 5 years of the child's life when they're born learning.
Okay, and Born Learning though, but and I take it that says exactly what it sounds like, that they are
Exactly.
born learning.
Exactly.
Now, how is this event going to help that, or what do we hope to accomplish with the event?
Well, we hope to accomplish to make parents aware of different activities that you can do with your children throughout the day to help them, connect those brain cells.
When we
Okay.
have over 50 vendors coming to the park, Herman Park,
Right?
on June 6th, we have one requirement of each vendor.
Okay.
They must have some activity to share with parents or caregivers that they can work with their children, 0 to 5, that can help them grow physically, mentally, or emotionally. And it's a wonderful opportunity for community services, community groups, to show what they can do, as well as advertise some activities for parents.
Okay, well look here, Thomas. Now, when a baby's born, a baby's a baby. A baby can't learn anything. Babies don't know anything. What do? They cry and then they mess up their diapers. So well, they don't learn anything. Tell me about that. What's that all about?
No, Wayne. No,
Come on now.
I'm going to speak for Thomas.
Okay.
You're stepping on our feet.
Okay,
now.
I know I am.
No. From the very moment a child is born, that he is learning. Matter of fact, on the brain development, which with current research shows that more brain development occurs in the first 2 years of life than ever. And when you have missed that boat during the first 2 years, then you have stemmed the child's growth for his entire lifetime. Perhaps that's what happened to you, Wayne.
That's exactly what happened to me. Thank you very much. Thank you, Charles.
But 6 million neuron connections can form in a brain in the first 2 years of life. And if those neuron connections do not develop, then they never will.
So when an infant at birth opens its eyes and is actually, when it's able to see, it's actually taking all this in.
Exactly.
It's learning as it's seeing and it's growing.
And then the more the child is exposed to, the more he learns.
Okay.
You already know. A parent already knows. He learns to talk. He learns to walk when he's born. But the very same cognitive functions are also being created during that time as well.
Okay. So we have how many vendors coming to this thing?
We have at least 50 vendors coming.
50.
Yes,
And
sir.
the requirement is that the vendors have what now?
At least one activity to show mental or physical growth.
Okay. So what kind of vendors are coming? So what do we see here?
We have
Let's get a list.
Right there.
Right there.
hands-on activities.
Okay.
Hands-on learning fun. Colgate Dental Van. We have Peppa the Pig coming to make a special appearance.
Peppa the Pig's going to be here?
Yes.
Wow.
We have Kiwanis Miniature Train Rides.
Oh, that's fun.
Storytelling at the Wayne County Public Library featuring Ron I. Jones.
Okay.
The Petting Zoo.
Right.
Inflatables.
So this is going to be a big festival
A
kind of a
huge
thing,
festival.
isn't it? Yeah.
Huge festival.
And one other thing, all these activities are free of charge for the parents. We also have free food, free games, hands-on activities. We have tremendous support from the United Way of Wayne County.
Fantastic.
They make the festival possible.
Yeah.
Only thing a parent has to do is show up, register, and enjoy the food, the activities, and learn a tremendous amount during that time.
Again, birth to 5 years of age. This is when the child actually learns more than they will ever learn again in their entire lives. Is that, you
That's
find
correct.
that, is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One of the things, the Born Learning Festival is a central part of the partnership message. Of course, we're dedicated to the growth of a child both physically and educationally during the first 5 years. And so born learning is a key component of our message. It also ties in with a community literacy effort. Several of our local community groups, the Goldsboro Pediatrics, the Kiwanis Club, the Wayne County government, including the Public Library and the Health Department, the City of Goldsboro, Seymour Johnson, Wayne County Public Schools, have all joined together to stress the importance of learning during the first 5 years. And we're trying to advertise what parents can do and caregivers. They see kids 24 hours a day. What can they do to help stimulate this growth? Everyday activities, going to the grocery store, folding laundry. If the parent can talk to the child, describe what he or she is doing, make it fun. Can you show me the green things in the produce department? What are they? Oh, this is lettuce. This is cucumbers. This is celery. All those things help build a child's vocabulary. What we do know is that that parents who talk to their children have about 60,000 more words in their vocabulary at kindergarten than a child who does not get that verbal stimulation. So you can see very quickly a child that starts school without that early learning is already behind.
All right.
And regardless of what the public schools or any school can do, that child has a tendency to stay behind. It's already been shown that quality child care or very verbal parents create a child who is much ready to learn to read than a child that does not have this experience.
All right. Before we talk about when the festival is going to, when is the festival?
It's June 6th.
Okay, June 6th. Before we talk,
10 a.m., 2 p.m.
And before we talk about that,
yes, sir.
While the child may be aware that they need to be learning all this stuff at birth, what about the parent? What does the parent do? If the parent says, I don't know how to do this, where do I start?
That is our impetus. That's one of the missions of the partnership, to help parents learn what they can do. We have applied for 2 literacy grants along with the public library to create a position to get out to the parents, to let them know that they are indeed responsible and are the child's first teacher.
Okay, so we have June 6th at Herman Park, 10 o'clock
to 2 o'clock.
to 2 o'clock. Okay, and they'll be able to get all this in that 4-hour period.
They can do all that and more. It's a tremendous day. Last year we had over 2,000 participants.
Wow.
Probably 750 kids, their parents, their grandparents. It was a tremendous day.
So parents and grandparents
Anybody
and guardians.
in the community that has an impact on kids from their birth to 5 years old are invited to come out.
Aunts, uncles, anybody that has an impact
and
on a
friends.
child.
Exactly.
Neighbors and friends.
Exactly.
All right. Gee whiz. Thomas, are you the chairman of this thing?
No, I'm not.
What are you doing? What are you
I
doing?
just help coordinate the event and getting everything together so we can have a successful day.
This is a major event, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
Again,
us.
June 6th, 10 till 2 at Herman Park.
Harmon Park.
Thank you,
Born
gentlemen.
learning.
Born learning.
Thank you.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television this Thursday, the 28th of the month of May, and thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
All right. What's
well,
up?
Wayne, we've talked about quite a bit on the show about the fact that the City of Goldsboro's Sanitation Department is moving towards an automated solid waste pickup.
Yeah.
What that means for most of our citizens.
What does that mean for most of our citizens?
It means there will be a few changes taking place in the way you take your trash cans to the street.
We're talking trash here.
Yes, we are. So think about your trash can. Whatever day you're scheduled to take your can to the street. You like it when I say that, right?
I like
you laugh
that,
at me
yeah.
every time.
I do. Yeah.
Make sure
Get
that
your can to the street.
make sure that the opening of the trash can is facing the street.
Okay.
That's the first rule. The second rule we want to make sure we remember is that all the way around the trash can for 3 feet, there is nothing in its way.
Okay.
In front, sides, and back. And the reasoning behind that is because the new truck that comes by to pick up the trash cans is not manned anymore physically by a person going out and getting the trash can and loading it on the truck. It is an automated arm that picks up, like a claw, picks up the trash can and dumps it and puts it back down. So we also are not having any additional bags of trash sitting around the trash can
Got it.
because the claw can't pick that
That's
up.
not going to work. Yeah.
No.
All right.
So the first thing we want to ask people is, are you recycling? If you're recycling, you're going to have a little bit less actual trash. Okay?
Okay.
That's the first thing that the sanitation department will ask you if you call them.
Okay.
Are you recycling? They want to encourage that more and more often. Second, are you putting your trash cans out on the correct day? Are you turning them the right way? And you're not putting any additional bags out. And all this has been happening now for a few weeks, but it is official June 1st.
Okay. June 1st.
June 1st is right around the corner.
Hurricane season.
That's exactly
That's
right.
exactly right. So June 1st, make sure that you have your can, get your can out the street, right?
Get your trash can out to the street.
The opening is facing the street.
That's right.
All right? And make sure that you have a 3-foot perimeter around your trash receptacle.
That's exactly right.
Okay. And the reason for that is because there's going to be one guy running a
driving the
mechanical
car.
arm. He's driving and
The
running a
truck.
mechanical truck, mechanical arm, and he's going to pick up your trash receptacle, dump it, put it back, and that's the end of that.
That's
Now, how many
exactly
people were displaced or lost their jobs due to this?
No, one person lost their job because
Really?
of this. No.
How did that happen?
Because of the timing of it, and they knew ahead of time this was coming down the pipe. As people retired, they didn't fill those positions. And the other positions, people were moved in-house. In other words, they were moved in either the same department but a different division, or they
Okay.
were moved to a different department, but no one lost their jobs
How
because
about
of
that?
this.
Now, that's great.
Absolutely.
That's great.
5% of our citizens that do receive the city's services will have a different day that their trash will be picked up.
5%.
5%.
That's a low
A
percentage.
very low percentage. And
So-
everyone has already received a mailer. It's actually a, which is green, it's not black like this, but it's a brochure and some information in a letter in your water bill that tells you what day you're going to have a trash pickup if there was a change.
Oh, if there was a change.
Yes, if there was a change.
Now, isn't there a website they can go to?
There certainly is. If you go to the City of Goldsboro's website, which is goldsboronc.gov,
Right.
if you go under Departments, Public Works. Once you get to Public Works, hit Sanitation, it will tell you everything. There's a place you can put your address in, like a search bar, put your address, and it'll pull up and tell you what day your trash is picked up and what day your recycling is picked up.
You know what, I was talking with Jose Martinez earlier, and he said that if you go to goldsboronc.gov
That's right.
/refuse, R-U-F-E, refuse, then it will pop up, not pop up, but it will give you the page where you put in your address.
search. That's right.
And it'll tell you exactly what your schedule is. And if it's changed, it'll tell you. And if
That's
it hasn't
right.
changed, it'll still tell you when.
And the
what day it is.
brochures on that page,
Yeah.
there's lots of information. There's telephone number, anything you need to talk to someone about at sanitation department
Yeah.
about, the phone number, all your information is right there, so it makes it easily accessible.
Excellent. There you go.
June 1st, the official day.
That's the day.
That's right.
All right.
I believe that may be all for today.
Is that it?
I believe it is.
Is that it?
We're done.
We're done. That's it for Thursday. We'll be right here tomorrow. Hope you're right there tomorrow when we do this tomorrow. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Until then, I am Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your city.